Yeah.
The meaning of this song, of course, I think is relatable, at the least applicable to where we are as a nation and as a culture.
This awesome quote that I heard, it says, "I don't want to write the laws of the land, I want to write the songs." Laws have a temporary nature to them. They can be altered with a vote sometimes. But a song is printed and it's delivered, and nothing can delete that. When a song carries an essence that is intrinsic in its message, that's transcendent in how it's being communicated, that is something that has an effect on any human being. The divergence of ideas is so important. It's the most crucial ingredient to a free nation. And I think where we are right now, we are facing the testing of a democratic republic. Anyone who's traveled the world, and I would say, especially if you've traveled not in the name of vacation, even though you can learn a lot about culture in that context, but if you travel for work, when you need to actually interact with a different culture and a different landscape to do the job, be it even live or actually an actual occupation, you find out how America is beautiful. Child Live, first hometown show. I didn't have enough songs to fill the set, just being totally transparent. So I wanted to write one that was a follow-up. One of my buddies told me, "Bro, you need to make that one like Phil Collins plus Pharrell and The Weeknd." And I was like, wow, those are all some great people. Lord help me. I just answered the question of Nothing to Say with the song Say It. I think I probably called it Say It just as a name holder. It ended up making total sense. Tried it live. It was a lot different in 2019.
You really got this coming. You really got this coming.
That was a really good litmus test to decide how we were going to pursue this one in the future.
Call out, you gotta own it.
We brought it to Nashville. I was connected with a producer. He just brought this whole new quality to the song. He kept referencing, and I kept referencing the same song. It was this old Kanye song that he did with Mike Dean. I think his name was Galveston. The perk on it was so futuristic, had this industrial element. What he started doing with the drums one day, baga, baga, baga. So I would go to the studio all day, and then I'd go back to my hotel at night. I'd call my wife, and then I would just literally comp vocals until like the early hours of the morning. Right after, I just bounce it to Ruslan before I went to bed, and the next day we'd get together, open up the file, incorporate what I just did. He'd give me some feedback, and then I'd go back that night and do some of it again. I recorded all of them out of a suitcase, basically. Even being in Nashville at the time, it was a unique moment in history. Minutes down the road, as I'm recording, there's the 2020 presidential debate. The tension in America in that hour, to be inside this changing of the times, it made its way into the song. It was a defining moment that we are all still living right now. I'm glad I was writing for the future because we didn't release it till like a year later. So it worked out well.
Hear this.
You got something good?
No way.
Before I went to Nashville, felt like that together we could find something that was going to be important for the future of the song. Tato, he is just a champ. When I'm in the role that I'm in, you're moving at like light speeds and hoping everyone else just keeps up. We were on the Moog, we were on the Juno, we were on the Prophet, using this pedal, we were reversing it, messing with every filter. Together, we dialed in even more. It just needed breakthrough. And I remember one night I was like, God, where is this sound supposed to settle? I went to bed that night and I had this dream. In the dream, I was listening to Say It, all finished, and it was perfect. It had this smooth, rhythmic, even warm ingredient to it, and it had this very strong trot. And I woke up after that dream and I knew that's where it's got to go. Jesus, thank you. And I think we got pretty close. Say It was probably worked on in what, like, had to have been 20 locations. Again, out of a suitcase, houses, hotels, one time outside in the middle of the night, and in an Airstream. We sold our house. We lived mobile for 6 months. We traveled the country. We feel like a living, breathing case study. We saw the full breadth of the United States. We do missions work. Thinking back to the type of work that we were doing and that we continue to do, a nation that's in such need, and seeing cities in such need, and then seeing, individuals in such need. How important is it that we are able to speak truth, that we're able to share in transparency and honesty? And in many situations, people's futures depend on that. We can't skirt honesty and truth if someone is living in a dire circumstance. How important is the freedom of conversation, the freedom of ideas, the freedom of speech? And so what we saw was a country that wants the same thing. Going into finishing Say It, we felt that we had a perspective that had value and that had clout. We're glad that we did it. We're glad that we're done with it. It was very uncomfortable. It looked cool.
Power? There we go. If it ends on his face, I need to start on his face, and then I need to come around to his back and we start walking.
Alright, no, we're adding to it. 2 minute warning. 2 minute warning, thank you. We appreciate the help.
He always encourages the vision, and he creates beyond the point of where he's ever created before. For people like us, that is a good friend.
I think he sees the power and the benefit of many minds coming together and how it can go further when you don't hold something too tightly.
We show the world there, but we never see the studio, so we're starting after the studio. Okay, you think so? Yeah, we'll see the scene.
Josh and I came up with this idea of reverse filming. Tenet may or may not have been a big inspiration for that, and it worked.
I'm moving your way. All right, you guys come out on action. Ready? And action! Right there. Oh, it's reverse right there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, right? Like right in that corner.
Yes, you see it poke up for a second.
I've got a lot of frame room over here.
We wanted the idea to come across that sometimes the direction we're going, we feel is the right direction, but it's actually moving us back from where we're supposed to be.
You didn't fall.
What?
You didn't fall at all.
Very good at it. Everybody does.
Okay, maybe we could fall once.
You want to fall?
Yeah.
I'll hear you. I got you.
We've been practicing this time.
All right. Let's not do any emotion. I mean, like side to side, whatever. Yeah.
I would like to just bring a message of hope in the midst of such perceived hopelessness, that this is the moment of breakthrough. And what might seem like a simple song to us, we believe is an echo to a generation.
Reverse time and forward time at the same time. So when we see Devin, he's going to be backward stepping. Everyone else is going to be doing stuff forward. We're going to play the whole thing in reverse. It's going to be perceived as though he's moving forward. Everything else is going backwards. We have to darken the camera so much for the flame.
Oh yeah, 15 minutes till sunset.
There's been a couple that have made us sad.
I am
Coming back.
nervously optimistic.
Keep coming, and we're just going to shoot the back of you.
Count of your dreamers. Let no people go. Turn the world backwards. Won't find the freedom anymore. Turn the world.
When we start silencing people's convictions and individuals, that is not something birthed out of love. That's birthed out of fear. I need to protect someone who's different than me. That's what I see America as. Just like the songs say, you get this dream for it, and you see what it's supposed to be, and you spend the whole time with it not being there until the end. That's this nation. Something was birthed hundreds of years ago, with many dire mistakes. But what was birthed is still being pursued, still being mixed. But we can't scrap the original idea because the intent was for a free expression. Basically, what I'm saying is that we need to continue with the freedom of ideas. We need to continue with the freedom of, I'll just say it, the freedom of speech. We need to be able to say something that needs to be said.
That's a wrap!